Nigerian Shippers Council is the economic regulator for the ports, and therefore our focus is to make sure that our ports are competitive as well as efficient. We are concerned with the dwell time of cargo at our ports. We are concerned with the integrity, simplicity, and indeed predictability of transactions at the ports. We are concerned with the automation in the ports. If we had automation at the ports, it means the transactions will be transparent. They will also be efficient. This will eliminate delay, it will eliminate corruption, and therefore eliminate leakages in the revenue drive of the government. We believe that a well-situated and promoted maritime industry, this is not only observed, but also enforced. And I think we should go a little further to legislate, if we can, these standard operating procedures so that each agency or organization operating at the port will know the specific duties that they do, and there should be sanction in case of breach.
The standard operating procedure we're launching or presenting to the public today is not just a tool to fight corruption, but again, to promote service excellence and predictability of activities at the port. So that we don't lay so much emphasis on using it as a tool to fight corruption and forget the fact that we're working towards making Nigerian ports competitive. Our idea is to make Nigerian ports the ports of preference in the continent of Africa. As we launch a standard operating procedure, those who do business at the ports will have opportunity to know what to expect in dealing with all those who work at the ports. Whether it's Shippers Council, Nigerian Ports Authority, Customs, NIMASA, or whatever, they can, with some degree of predictability, know what to expect in dealing with our people at the ports. The other one is to remove OPAC and promote transparency in the conduct of business at the ports. They will also have the opportunity to lay complaints whenever there is need for one in doing their business at the port. So it appears to me and to our other actors at the port that this is the key to new enhanced efficiency and effectiveness of our ports.
The launch today is of special significance to Denmark and special importance. Denmark is a very active player in the maritime sector in Nigeria. Let me just mention that almost 40% of the Nigerian seaborne trade is carried on Danish vessels. So we have a very clear interest in supporting today's launch of the standard operating procedures and the port service support portal. Both are fundamental to enhancing transparency and efficiency of the port operations. I wish everyone all success with this important initiative and would like to reiterate Denmark's firm support for the Nigerian anti-corruption drive. When we work together, we can combat corruption.
Tuga has supported the anti-corruption agenda with knowledge products and by connecting dots and connecting different actors to build synergy. We are proud today that this corruption risk assessment project that is our brainchild has come to fruition. We are particularly happy that in the execution of this project, we have extended our reach beyond the anti-corruption community, which has been the major beneficiary of our work, to other ministries, departments, and agencies. We have connected actors and issues to build transparency and accountability in the Nigerian port sector. We will continue to monitor the effectiveness of this process to ensure that it achieves the desired objectives, and we intend to take the lessons learned to expand our activities to other sectors.
NCS recognizes the importance and will have no problems key into what we are discussing here today and adding value through synergy. This is because on resumption of the CGC and the present management, we realize that one of the major reasons accounting for the challenges we faced is the absence of an SOP. And so the CGC with the management sat down and devoted much of the time we spent so far on developing our SOPs and gazetting them. You see, because when things are not put out and documented and legalized, people begin to give lame excuses, which will not save them anyway. We align with what is being put out here today, and to say that with our automated risk management, the trade hub, the single window that we're going to work on, and as partners in progress in this sector, the Nigerian Customs Service stands here today committed to this cause.
We are very hopeful that with the implementation of the standard operating procedures, issues that arise within the sector will receive prompt attention, which will lead to increased efficiency and output. Today, therefore, marks a new day for port agencies, and it is our hope that other sectors of government here today will borrow a leaf and seek possible means of collaboration to enhance their operations. With this measure, it is hoped that the course of business in Nigerian ports will be at par with other like ports and translate into increased revenue for government.
Man and our members stand to gain, stand to benefit from a transparent and accountable port operations. One of the challenges manufacturers have in this country is the issue of clearance of our goods from the ports. And it takes a long time for us to clear our goods. But I believe when there is transparency and accountability in the operations of these ports, there's no doubt we'll be able to clear our goods faster. And the dream that we have had all this while to be able to clear our goods within 48 hours will eventually be achieved. So I'd like to really thank the ministry and all the people that have made this possible. Because today we are surer of better productivity. We are going to perform better now. And my request is that let there be no compromise in the way these frameworks are implemented.
Our goal is to work together to prevent and close the door to illicit activities and all forms of corrupt practices in Nigerian ports, to work together to devise mechanisms to strengthen the integrity processes in our ports, to work together to increase transparency and enhance predictability by developing, collating, and publishing a harmonized standard operating procedures for agencies and operators at our ports, to develop and establish an online real-time port service support portal, which is a central mechanism for resolution of service problems, to make Nigerian ports user-friendly for greater economic benefits. So the harmonization processes, agencies and operators at Nigerian ports submitted their operating procedures for harmonization. These include government agencies, terminal operators, shipping companies, freight forwarders, road hauliers, stevedores, marine surveyors, and some others as well. The harmonized standard operating procedure will serve as a guide to staff or personnel of service providers, users of services in the ports, and the general public on all operations at our ports. So Nigerian Shippers Council, as the interim port economic regulator, keyed into the integrity plan as recommended by the Corruption Risk Assessment Report. To ensure stakeholder private sector input, consultations and resolutions from various fora held with the organized private sector, that is Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, NASIMA, terminal operators, shipping companies, freight forwarders, road hauliers, and others were considered. Specifically, Roundtable 1 and 2 resolved as follows: that operators at Nigerian ports should have visible complaint desks or complaints mechanism. That Nigerian Shippers Council should produce a handbook or a manual on processes and procedures at Nigerian ports. This should be made available to operators and the public. There must be visible procedures and documentation for joint survey or examination of cargoes by relevant parties. Effective implementation of the objectives of the port reforms should be implemented. Nigerian Shippers Council drew from its long experience of resolution of industry disputes between providers and users of shipping services as well, especially the private-public project, which is the Cargo Defense Fund, which was set up for claims recoveries and legal remedies. So we were able to get a lot from all of these, and all of these were integrated into the harmonization processes. So the PSSP, which is the Port Service Support Portal, is designed to serve as a complaint management portal for the maritime, shipping, and ports industry. It is web-based and allows users to submit and track the status of their complaints. It also makes some provision for analysis of complaints to generate statistics. It will aid efficient resolution of complaints through intervention, mediation, conciliation by the economic regulator, also redress on behalf of the party that has complained, then sanctions or enforcement by the ICPC where necessary. There's also consideration for legal processes. The live demo of the PSSP will describe additional features of the PSSP in relation to the user and inter-agency connectivity. All SOPs have a table of content, preamble, summary of functions of agency or purpose of an organization or association, purpose and objectives of the SOP, operational areas or limits of an agency, organization, or association, operational procedures with timelines, what, when, how, and who you do it with. Then, of course, a glossary of terms, terminologies, and abbreviations. We are committed to the introduction of systems for the electronic exchange of information for the arrival, stay, and departure of vessels, persons, and cargo to facilitate clearance processes. We are also interested in working with all parties concerned, government agencies, ship owners, terminal operators, freight forwarders, road hauliers, underwriters, bankers to exchange data in conformity with the relevant United Nations standards, including United Nations, there's a UN body, United Nations Electronic Data Interchange for Administration, Commerce and Transport Standards. Hence, our commitment to the implementation of the Advanced Cargo Declaration System, or the Cargo Tracking Note, an initiative to monitor and verify cargo on transit from port of origin to port of destination. We're also committed to the single window systems for the simplification of the complexities of day-to-day trade transactions in the ports by providing real-time trade and logistics information required for efficient import, export, and transit-related transactions. We also note the recommendations contained in the IMO Convention on Facilitation of International Maritime Traffic, as amended, and add as follows: that measures and procedures imposed for purposes of security, suspected fraud, special problems constituting grave danger to public order, public health, unlawful acts against the safety of maritime traffic, illicit trafficking in narcotic drugs, psychotropic substances, and the prevention of the introduction of spread of disease or pests affecting animals. The point we're trying to make is that this should be done, but there must be consideration for facilitation of maritime traffic. Where possible, information technology should be utilized. Such measures, which include risk management and cross-checking of information, should be implemented in a manner that will cause minimal interference with, and also prevent unnecessary delay to ship person and property on board. We believe that with monitoring, supervision, and enforcement, the quality of the SOPs will improve in due course. I thank you all for listening.
I'm extremely pleased to be here on this momentous occasion, the launch of the Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, for all government agencies operating at Nigerian ports, as well as the launch of the Port Service Support Portal, PSSP. It is indeed heartwarming to learn of these laudable initiatives undertaken by the Ministry of Transportation in conjunction with the Nigerian Shippers Council, the Technical Unit on Governance and Anti-Corruption Reforms, TUGA, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, the ICPC. The delivery of this project is clearly a major achievement in enhancing improved predictability and transparency of the system. Furthermore, the PSSP would serve as a well-defined mechanism for the handling of internal and external complaints for both operational and integrity issues. The SOPs and PSSP would not only streamline processes for port operations, but also serve as an important testament of the need to continue to cooperate and remain committed to our collective efforts to drive inclusive economic growth and development in Nigeria. The benefits of the entire initiative are glaring, ranging from a more efficient port administration to the incidental effect of making it much easier to do business in Nigeria. A key component of this administration's change agenda is the development of a diversified non-oil sector economy. To achieve this target, the ports must play their role in making it easier to trade across borders, as well as drive Nigeria's trade policy. Better port procedures have direct impact on the business environment for Nigerian and foreign businesses and could in turn enhance our economic development. An enhanced port administration would significantly make it easier for Nigerian businesses to import components needed for industrialization and export their goods to other countries easily. The SOPs and PSPs have set us on a path, one of enhancing our port capacity, ensuring free flow of import and export, reducing corruption in port procedures, and adopting global best practice. This is, however, merely the first step. Everyone, public and private stakeholders, must invest their commitment in the successful implementation of the SOPs and PSSPs by following the procedure, not engaging in corrupt practices and putting an extra effort to ensuring that their objectives are accomplished. The Ministry of Transportation has made a move forward through the SOPs and PSSP. It's time for the private sector users of the ports to also play their role of testing the system, helping to improve its efficiency by cooperating, or most importantly, not circumventing the rules. I once again congratulate Honorable Rotimi Amici and the Federal Ministry of Transportation and all of the agencies that are concerned with the drawing up of this new regime, and all the stakeholders in this project. I'm honored to now proceed to launch the Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, and the Port Service Support Portal, PSSP, to the glory of God and the benefit of Nigeria and humanity. Thank you.